Welcome back to Views with Hughes, your agenda-free news. I'm Jerome Hughes, your host and creator of the channel. If you're just now visiting, go ahead and click that subscribe button and click that bell notification so that way you'll be notified of future videos. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about the current state of Disney, okay, specifically like Marvel Studios as well as a little bit of Lucasfilm. And I'm also going to talk about Bob Chapek as well as how he's compared to David Zaslav, okay, the CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery. All right, so current state of Disney. As you all can see, this past Saturday and everything, Comic-Con concluded, and yeah, a lot of mixed reactions. Like, some people who are really big fans of the stuff that was there, they enjoy what they saw as far as Marvel and Disney stuff that's concerned, content that's coming to Disney Plus as well. But then you have others like myself who didn't really have any more high hopes as we used to. Okay, like we still, were open-minded to it and seeing what they had planned. But at the same time, our confidence was just a little low, okay, or further lower than before. All right. So the current state of Disney with us, as far as like how we're enjoying it, it is not so well, especially after phase 4 of the MCU, or as we call it, the MCU. Now, I'll let y'all know this right now. We're not against female characters, okay? We're not against female superheroes. We love female superheroes only as long as they're done right. All right. Now, what I mean by that is simply to put, we don't really want the woman to be like the man. All right. We like male superheroes who are noble, who are selfless, who is not arrogant, and who is also brave enough to go ahead as well as admit that they're wrong. Nowadays, we see female superhero characters that are arrogant, bashful. In other words, in a similar manner as the male superheroes that we don't like who turn out to be villains. Okay? Instead, we're told to continue to like the female superheroes who have been Mary Sue because of the fact that, you're just sexist, and you just a male chauvinist, and you just don't care about the female empowerment. You don't like seeing the women as taking the lead for once. Oh no, we like female superheroes that take the lead. Prime example, Wonder Woman and the movie Wonder Woman, the first one. She was everything that a hero. She has the qualities that a hero has. Not only a female superhero, but just being a hero in general. She was brave. She was not only bold, but she didn't look down upon her male counterparts. And she was willing to sacrifice herself as well. That's what we also look for and see in many of the male superhero characters. But we don't see that in a lot of female superhero characters, at least from Disney. All right. So I just want to get that out the way. All right, we're not about sidelining female superheroes. We love female superheroes to take the lead as long as it's done right. We love diversity as long as it's done right. Okay? All right. Well, as far as Marvel is concerned, whether it be the comic books or even Marvel Studios, don't expect any changes soon. They won't take place in about the next 3 or 4 years. Why do I say that? Because of the things that we've seen in the past year for Marvel Phase 4, as well as for Phases 5 and 6. That's all been done approved by Bob Iger when he was the CEO. Okay? All those things have been improved and done under Bob Iger, not Bob Chapek, the current CEO of Disney. Okay? It's simply put the fact that all the years that they spent planning was stuff that they have up to this moment planned under Bob Iger. Now, many of us either checked out of Disney or we're just going to be standing on the fence to keep an eye out, but not at the same time, not really taking it too seriously, at least until we start seeing the changes made by Bob or approved by Bob Chapek. All right. Also, the recent movies that didn't do well in the box office, as well as some many of the Marvel shows that's on Disney Plus, they were done and approved and headed over by a certain producer named Victoria Alonso. Who is Victoria Alonso? She's been with Disney and Marvel Studios for a while, and not much really for me to know about her. I just know about how she is right now. Okay, so she's the one that approved of the heroes from the Marvel Comics, the modernized ones that didn't really work with Marvel sales, okay, as far as comic books are concerned. Back in 2019, she told the people to stop using the term X-Men. Why did she tell them to stop using that term? Because she feels that it's problematic, it's sexist. It's not showing any female empowerment since there were women in the X-Men. Now, my issue is with X-Men, that meant those who were, it's used as a general term as the same with mankind. You have man and woman, the mankind, okay? All right. So she found X-Men to be problematic. So that's why she decided to go ahead and change the title from X-Men to the Mutants. But there's a problem with that. You see, all X-Men are mutants, but all mutants are not X-Men. That's the issue. That's the issue with her, as well as several other people out there aren't really getting at. You see, the reason why the comic books, the X-Men were created was because of the fact that the X-Men were named after the Charles Xavier, Professor X, if you will. And he's the one who leads them. Okay? He's the one that taught them. He's the one that took care of them. He also taught them the ways of being not only like living as mutants, but also being heroes. Okay. But you also have some mutants out there that were also villains, i.e. Magneto. Okay. That's why I said that all mutants are not all X-Men are mutants, but not all mutants are X-Men. Because you have good mutants, X-Men, and you have bad mutants. All right. So that's where, the whole issue comes into play. You can't just have a movie called The Mutants instead of, next thing you know, you're going to have people ask you, wait a minute. Wait. How come there's good mutants and there's bad mutants? It'll be easy to just call them X-Men, so that way you wouldn't recognize the good mutants from the bad mutants. Hello. Pretty self-explanatory right there. I mean, if you read the comic books, even took the time to watch the cartoons, maybe you find out more about it. This will only lead to their only politically motivated theme of making Magneto an anti-villain instead of an actual villain. Okay? Kind of, in other words, they're trying to do the same thing that Sony does, or like where they have, for example, Venom. In the comics and the cartoons, we all knew Venom to be the villain. Okay? Eddie Brock, villain. In the Venom movie, somehow Sony and when it was associated with Marvel, they made it work by making Eddie Brock the anti-villain and making Venom the anti-villain as well. But you can't, not everybody can do the anti-villain the same way. Other people will say, hey, well, they love the anti-villain. That's going to sell. That's really going to help us out and everything. Maybe we should do the same thing. Only to find out you didn't do it the same way that they done it. Granted, Morbius was all right. I thought it was an okay movie, but at the same time, they did it right. It's all about the story, or how you make the story, not how you change the character. And when you do that, when you try to make Magneto the anti-villain, that's when you're going to try to get us all onto his side, the side of the villain. And we don't want that. We want to stick with the X-Men. We want to see the X-Men prevail. All right. We want to see them successful. We want to see them succeed to stomp out the bad guys who's making it look bad for all, not only mutants, but also those who want to destroy humans. Okay. And You know what? Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if she decides to go ahead and make Magneto, whether it be a woman or a woman of a different race. Okay, she'll probably even deconstruct Martin Luther King. Now, I wouldn't even be surprised at it, whether it be her or anyone else. The fact that they also, and another thing, Miss Marvel. I didn't watch the show, but I did watch all the YouTubers out there, or the VTubers, if you will, talk about the show itself. I personally didn't want to watch it. Okay, if y'all wanted to watch it and y'all enjoyed it, that's fine. Me, no, I didn't, because in the comics, she didn't work. At least to me. But that's just me. But the fact that, they made Miss Marvel a mutant, that's just telling us everything that they're trying to do. They're trying to make her the first mutant of the MCU. That's their whole plan, because of the fact that, led to, Victoria Alonso to make the mutants no longer X-Men. Remove that title. Just change it to the mutants. You can't really, you're going to have a lot of people confused by that, where they won't be able to recognize the good mutants from the bad mutants. And Disney and Marvel Studios has another issue, finding good directors. Right now, they're saying that there's all their directors are good. Granted, there are some, but they're not as good as the Russo brothers, i.e. Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Captain America, Civil War, Then you also got Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame. Russo brothers, they checked out. Why did they check out? Because the fact that they don't want to be involved in any future works of Marvel. They were out after not seeing eye to eye with Kevin Feige with Infinity Wars and Endgame. These are directors who I find to be really versatile. Not many people know or remember that they're the ones that were behind the series of Arrested Development, the sitcom Arrested Development with Jason Bateman. Yeah, I love that show. I still, I used to watch it on Netflix all the time. If Stranger Things didn't have any new episodes, I watched that show ever since it was on Fox. They did an excellent job with that. The fact that they did well with that show, which is a sitcom, and then they also did well with these movies, which are action and comic book based movies, and shows that they helped to rake in billions of dollars worldwide when they were released. And they've made them really memorable movies. In my opinion, this is a fact. Oh, no, it's not my opinion. It's a fact. It's Marvel's loss. They lost two of the greatest directors that they've had. They've already losing James Gunn to Warner Brothers. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That's his last movie for the MCU. Nonetheless, the Marvel Studios changed their tune. And if they want to fix MCU after Phase 4, then they need to bring back the Russos. Let them handle the creativity. Remove the narrative. Just entertain us for once. Like you used to. Moving on from Marvel Studios, I want to talk about the person who is starting to make changes at Disney, Bob Chapek. Now, I've learned from many others, and I've also noticed from the reports that was given about him, that he's a numbers guy. He uses the numbers of the results of many films and shows and see if they work and if they didn't work. All right. But the problem is he also doesn't have much of a creative side to him. OK, he's a numbers guy. If he looks at everything based on numbers, the sales, profits being made after, is if it's matching up with the budget, so on and so forth. Okay, Bob probably doesn't know what is woke, and he might not be able to get rid of it due to the fact that the power players that's working for Disney right now, such as Kathleen Kennedy on Lucasfilm and Kevin Feige. But he was able to fire one executive, a certain Mr. Peters, if you will. But everyone thought that he was weak. And when he fired that dude, even Kevin Feige, one of the most powerful hitters of Hollywood, said he didn't even expect that from Bob Chapek. So now we see that Chapek is pretty, he let his, if Lord forgive me, he let his balls drop, if you will. Okay, so he gained some. So he showed the real side of him. It's possible that, he might have went with the wokeisms, if you will. And then next thing you know, he fired one of the most woke executives in Hollywood right now. One who is also well approved and possibly even powerful. Some say that, it was a fear of him, possibly being replaced by him or so on and so forth. But he made a move. And guess what happened after that? Well, not after that, but what led to that is the fact that he saw that and was known that the board backed him. That's why he was given that 3-year extension on the contract. He's not weak at all. Like I say, he improves what's working and what's not working. Whatever he sees is working, we enjoy it. Whatever he sees not working, he takes care of it in the manner that he sees fit. And not only that, he's willing to make sacrifices. Okay? He's willing to make sacrifices. And that's what it's all about, trying to make things work. If you're trying to make things work, or you see things that are able to work, you are willing to make sacrifices, whether it be having to fire people or possibly one day, disapproving projects that have been introduced, even if it means of him losing his job. Okay, but here's we love Bob Chapek. All right, we see what he's done so far, and like I said, so far, meaning there's probably more things up his sleeve that we don't even know. Now, compare him to David Zaslav, the CEO of Warner Brothers and Discovery, or Warner Brothers Discovery. David Zaslav, in my opinion, he's more powerful than Bob Chapek. He's proven it. He's fired several different executives that are responsible for bringing in the wokeisms and approving the wokeisms in several DC EU projects. Batwoman, Justice League, stuff like that, so on and so forth. Okay? The reason why is because Bob Zaslav, the only enemy that's out there is Bob Zaslav. Not Bob Zaslav, David Zaslav. The only enemy to David Zaslav is David Zaslav himself. Bob Chapek, on the other hand, he has a lot of enemies within Disney. He might not care what Hollywood thinks of him, but at the same time, there's people in Disney that's his enemies. It could be anyone. It's a lot of them, actually. But his firing of Tim Rice is proof of it. Tim Rice was his enemy. He took care of him. The board backed it. They approved it. He has more enemies out there. Zaslav, he proved to fix things. While Chapek, on the other hand, he's limited due to the whole political cesspool within the company of Disney. Not only the films, but also the parks. So it seems that Bob Chapek still has his hands tied, but one day when the opportunity presents itself, he's going to make that move. Now, like I said, Bob Chapek, he's not weak, but at the same time, he's not as powerful as David Zaslav. All right. I said that he's not as powerful as David Zaslav, but guess what? Bob Chapek is only in the beginning stages of what he's doing right now. We don't know what other things he might have planned. We don't know what other things he might do. But I got a feeling that someday those things are going to become reality, and we're going to see them. And if we think that him firing Tim Rice was like the craziest thing he's ever done, oh, I got a feeling he has much more up his sleeve, and we don't even know it. He's got an additional 3-year contract extension from Disney and the board. This is only the beginning. All right. All right, so that's all that I have on this portion of Views with Hughes, your agenda-free news. If you enjoy what I've discussed in this video, please give this video a like. Hit that like button. Also, anywhere that you think I might have went wrong and you want to provide any corrections or any extra information that I might have missed, please comment below. And also feel free to like this video, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification and share this video with as many people as possible. Until then, next people, peace.